Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. Today is August 7th, 2013, Wednesday, August 7th, 2013, and this is another live broadcast. Thanks so much for finding your way here. Well, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and when you're in the driver's seat completely, with 100% of the power, you can do whatever it is you want to do. I mean, look at what Hitler did during World War II. Look at what Joseph Stalin did during World War II and before World War II. Look at what Pol Pot did and the Khmer Rouge in the 60s and the early 70s. It is beyond the ability of a mind to comprehend how certain individuals with groups of individuals behind them can do the stuff that has been done historically. And you know, it's a big bad voodoo daddy, right? Absolute power. And there are variations on the theme, many different shades of gray. Well, check this out. Here's a new research article I pulled right off the web. Most research on adults with chronic conditions focuses on a single disease or condition, such as high blood pressure or diabetes, rather than on multiple chronic conditions. This study's objective was to compare physician office visits by adults with multiple complaints to visits by adults with just one complaint by selected patient demographic characteristics. We also identified the most prevalent dyads and triads of chronic conditions, which means the most common things that were reported. We used the National Ambulatory Medical Care Survey. How about that? A nationally representative survey of office visits to non-federal physicians, and used 13 of the 20 conditions defined by the National Strategic Framework on Multiple Chronic Conditions. In 2009, an estimated 326 million physician office visits were made by adults aged 18 or older. 326 million office visits by adults 18 years or older with multiple disease conditions. Multiple disease conditions. That's 37% of all medical office visits by adults were for multiple conditions. Not just one condition, but for multiple conditions. And this is you know, a big break from the past, remember? I mean, remember when we were kids? I mean, I didn't know. I'm 54 years old right now. I didn't know anybody when I was a kid who had more than one thing that was wrong with them. It was, you know, Granny had arthritis or high blood pressure, or the neighbor down the street had glaucoma or whatever. But now you've got people with arthritis, with congestive heart failure, with type 2 diabetes, with a fibromyalgia, with insomnia, with anxiety and panic attacks. The list goes on and on and on. And yet the medical community, conventional MD community, doesn't know what to do about this. And so rather than look at themselves, rather than look at their own failed vantage point, their own failed therapeutics, their own old-fashioned, outdated vantage point, which is referred to as Newtonian allopathic reductionism, they blame you. It's genes. That has to be it. It's genetic. Oh, all of a sudden there's a new gene that's been populated in the American, in worldwide culture. We don't know where it came from. It was a lingering gene for multiple disease conditions, and it must have been stimulated by something. Maybe it's the polychrominated biphenyls in the water. Who knows? It's nonsense. They're scrambling to, you know, make 2 and 2 equal 5. And they'll never be able to make 2 and 2 equal 5, because guess what? 2 plus 2 always equals 4 if you're using a base 10 mathematical system. My point is that because the allopaths, because the MDs, because the pharmaceutical industry, because the American Medical Association has been undisputedly in the driver's seat of medicine for the last 100 years, as our health gets worse, we give them a pass, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And they are so blind to their shortcomings that they cannot possibly even consider the idea that the problem might be with their therapeutics. The problem might be with their vantage point. The problem might be with the way that they interpret physiological findings. The problem might be the way that they treat physiological conditions. Can't be that. And now Senator Dick Durbin from the great state of Illinois. Dick Durbin from the great state of Illinois is trying to pass a bill in Congress that eliminates your ability to purchase nutritional supplements. You should be outraged by this. I want everybody in this listening audience to write a letter to Dick Durbin. Just do a Google search for Dick Durbin's vitamin bill. Write a letter to his office today. Send it express mail. Get everybody in your family to write a letter today. Get them to send it express mail. I want Durbin's office to be pummeled with hundreds of thousands, millions of letters saying if you pass this ridiculous bill bill which limits my access to nutritional supplements, I'm never going to vote for you again. I'm never going to vote for anybody in your family. I'm going to move from the state of Illinois. We're going to leave. I'm never going to go to Illinois. Because you're horrible at what you do. You do not have a clue. Stop this bill dead in its tracks. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Knowledge is power. If you give them an inch, they want to take a mile. Every couple of months, every couple of years, they try to roll out another bill like this. It is pure nonsense. And if you want to channel your frustration, if you want to channel your anger into something productive, into something constructive, then write Dick Durbin's office a letter. Call them up, even better. Say, son of a gun, if you sponsor this bill, I'm never going to vote for you or anybody in your family ever again. And furthermore, go pound sand. Those are 3 words I like to use quite a bit. Go pound sand. If people told their medical doctors to go pound sand, we'd have a healthy country. For goodness sake, what we need in order to support and promote the structure and function of our bodies, what we need to do to get out of this madness, to stop the madness, the system doesn't need to be tweaked. We don't need to tweak the system. We don't need to upregulate the system. We don't need to downregulate the system. We don't need to massage the medical system. We don't need to elect a medical czar. We don't need to have anything to do with the current medical system that exists in the free world. What needs to be done is we need to abandon it because it doesn't work. And, Mike Randolph is right. Mike Randolph is my Tuesday afternoon guest, my regular returning guest. He's the Vice President of Leadership Development with Longevity. He's also has been heavily involved in the world of finance for most of his professional life. Mr. Randolph and myself, yours truly, Dr. Peter Glidden, are both of the opinion that once Obamacare takes effect, once Obamacare becomes a reality, it's going to become a reality sometime next year, medical doctors are going to start running away from insurance providers like rats running away from a sinking ship. And this is going to force people, American citizens, to pay cash for medical treatment. And when people are starting to have to pay cash for medical treatment instead of insurance payments for medical treatment, the free market, the magic of the free market is going to take effect. And we don't have a free medical market right now because my profession is only licensed and regulated in 16 states. We're only covered by medical insurance, I think, in 10 of those states. Most people don't even know how to pronounce naturopath, let alone know what it is. There's less than 5,000 licensed naturopathic doctors in the entire world. There's not nearly enough of us to go around. So we don't have a free medical market, but it's going to get a little bit better once Obamacare kicks in because people are going to have to start paying cash for medical treatment. And when you have to pay cash for medical treatment, you are going to look for the most effective type of medical treatment that there is. And close observation of all of this, it's easy to see that it ain't what the MDs bring to the table. What the MDs bring to the table is symptom suppression through the administration of man-made synthetic drugs and surgery. It's drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, death. But before death, pain and suffering, pain and suffering, pain and suffering, bankruptcy, and then death. Multiple disease conditions are the new normal. Everybody being sick and tired, new normal. Everybody being as broke as a pauper, the new normal. We're going back to the way it was in Victorian England, with 1% of the population owning all of the money and everybody else scrambling for crumbs. Are you tired of that nonsense? You tired of not being able to sleep through the night? Are you tired of waking up in the middle of the night after a couple of hours sleep, you're worried out of your mind, you're having an anxiety attack, you can't sleep through the night, you got an arthritic pain, or 2 or 3 or 4, you can't hold down a meal, you've got heartburn so bad, you're pounding down the Tums like candy bars, you've got high blood pressure so high your face is beet red, you don't need to wear a costume at Halloween, you're in line for a heart transplant, you're in line for a liver transplant, you're in line for a kidney transplant, you're in line for your 3rd fake titanium knee. How much of this nonsense are you going to have to take and put up with before you just pick your head up out of the sand and come to the simple conclusion that MD-directed treatment for chronic diseases don't work? MD-directed treatments for chronic disease do not work. Let me say it one more time. MD-directed treatments for chronic diseases do not work. All that they do is manage your symptomology, create more symptoms, create more side effects, create more financial strain, and it's nonsense. Pick your head up out of the sand, dust yourself off, fire your medical doctor now, join Longevity, and let us show you the light of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. We have boilerplate health recovery programs which support and promote the structure and function of every major organ system in the body, which are based on research and clinical experience by licensed and regulated physicians, given to you for free. You have been duped by the American Medical Association, ladies and gentlemen, and the pharmaceutical companies. Your medical doctor doesn't know what's best for you. They only know what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is one small piece of the pie of medical science. And how's it working for you? If it ain't working so good, visit this website right here, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the Longevity button and let us show you the light of medical nutrition. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, taking your calls when we come back. Nothing like a little Carlos to get you going. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, reminding you that only you can prevent allopathic reductionism. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call to speak to me live. 866-582-9933. Going to go to North Carolina now and speak to Amira or Amira. How do you pronounce that name, girl? Thanks for calling. You are live.
That's Amira, Dr. Glidden. How are you doing?
Very, very good, Amira. Thanks for the phone call. Give me an update. How are you feeling and what's happening?
Okay, I am feeling better. I have 2 senior citizens I need to ask you about briefly. Okay?
All right, I'm all yours. Let's go for it.
Okay, the first one has a stent implant in one artery and experiencing pain in her right hip.
Yeah.
She also is asking me about inflammation throughout her body. I offered the heart, healthy brain, and heart pack. She's not able to purchase the total health pack at this time. What would I suggest to her at a reasonable investment for that right now? She said she's somewhere around $60.
Okay, well, that's going to be a little tricky. So what I would do in that case is I would give her 1 bottle of the Beyond Osteo FX Plus. Actually, no, you know what I would do? I would give her the Ultimate Classic. That's the name of it. It just came to me. 1 bottle of the Ultimate Classic, 1 bottle of the Ultimate Classic, and 1 bottle of the Osteo FX Plus. 1 bottle of the Ultimate Classic and 1 bottle of the Beyond Osteo FX Plus per month. That's a very good place for her to start. Plus, she needs to start salting her food so that it tastes good, and she needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods, right? So, and I mean, that's free. Anybody can just stop eating the 10 bad foods, and everybody needs to. So clean her diet up. Have her start salting her food so that it tastes good, and give her 1 bottle of Ultimate Classic a month and 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX Plus a month. And, show her the business model, because I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90 years old. You have friends. You have a mouth. You have people that you can turn on to this stuff. And, age is not a barrier here. For goodness sake, I have a 7-year-old girl in Seattle who's making $400, $500, $600 a month. She's 7 years old. You know, if a 7-year-old can do it, she can do it. So when people are up against a financial crunch, enroll them into the business opportunity. Show them the business opportunity, and notwithstanding that, clean up her diet. Have her do the Ultimate Classic and the Beyond Osteo FX Plus. You said there was one more?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other lady, she has total knee replacement in both knees. Left knee went out a week ago, and no weight can be put on that leg, and the person is on crutches, and she has an arch falling in the left foot.
Well, she needs to fire her medical doctor. She needs to get a refund. She needs to question her medical professionals and say, look, I've been under your tutelage and your care my entire life. While I've been taking your advice, following your advice, doing your ridiculous therapies, you've made me bankrupt, and the stuff doesn't work. I mean, I'm getting worse. It's progressively getting worse, and I want you to tell me why you suck at what you do. I want some answers here because you've let me down. You've let me down big time. I'm going to get all my friends to get signs. We're going to march up and down in front of your office. We're going to go get permits from City Hall. We're going to do it all legally. We're going to march up and down in front of your office. While I've been under Dr. Quack's care, my knee blew out 25 times. Whatever. For goodness sake, we need to start taking our responsibility back and start holding these people's feet to the fire. I don't understand why people give their medical doctors a pass. Oh, I'm on my 4th knee now. Isn't that just great? No, it's not. Your doctor's horrible at what they do. That's why you're on your 4th knee. The recommendation here, of course, would be the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack and Selenium, appropriate for body weight. The Healthy Bone and Joint Pack and Selenium, appropriate for body weight. We dose the selenium at 1 bottle per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and she needs to bring her glucogel intake up to 1 capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day. 1 capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day. Of course, she needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods also, so dial in those programs, and you know what? Let's let the healing begin once and for all. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Today is the 7th day of August 2013. The 7th day of August 2013. And I am having technical difficulties here with the video feed. We're going to try to sort that out here shortly. While we're doing that, let's go to Ohio and talk to Don. Hey, Don. Thanks for the call. You are live.
Good afternoon, Dr. Glidden.
Thanks.
What my issue is, me and my wife have actually started taking the Tangy Tangerine, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, the Citrus Peach Fusion.
Yeah.
We're also taking the Longevity Beyond Osteo FX. And then I also take like a tablespoonful of almost like it's like an organic cod liver oil every day that'll help me be able to go and absorb, like with my fatty acids and things, so I can better absorb everything and get it all working synergistically together. What my issue is about 2 years ago, I started having like allergies around my eyes, and I'd always had allergies ever since I've been a little boy. I'm 47 years old right now, and during the time I was having like mucus come up around them. I was starting to get like a rash and things, and I just thought it was allergies at first, but it just persisted and persisted, and then it got worse and worse, and I actually went to the eye doctor or the ophthalmologist. They gave me steroids, put stuff in. Well, it proceeded to get worse and worse. Here we are, 2 years, about 2 years later, pretty much completely debilitated debilitated. I'm now on steroid shots because this is now pretty much all over my body. If I don't go in, if I let the shots, if I don't get a steroid shot and I let them run out, because I try to do some natural stuff with getting acupuncture and something else from a chiropractor and some homeopathic treatments, and they didn't work. But basically, what they came back with blood work is that I have like an IG, it's called immunoglobulin, IgE, and I don't know what the E stands for, but in a normal person, it's about 100 to 150 in your blood, but in myself, it's like at over 19,000. I'm practically, I'm practically allergic to everything. Me and my wife, we try to eat organically. I believe in, taking vitamins and all the rest of it. But, and I keep on thinking that there has to be something in my body that it's not getting the proper nutrients, because I just started taking this about maybe about a week ago with the tangy tangerine and things. And I'm at my wit's end.
Okay, well, the first thing that I want to talk, number one, I can help you, so don't despair. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here. But number two, again, we don't want to overlook the obvious, and it seems like I have to drive this point home more and more frequently now, and this segues perfectly into my little monologue at the beginning of this broadcast about multiple disease conditions now becoming the norm. While you have been under the care of the MDs your entire life, all of this crap has happened to you, and the treatments that they have delivered to you haven't worked. They've actually created side effects. They've caused more problems, and while you have been giving your body to them for health care, they have failed you miserably to such a great extent that you have been forced to, look for alternatives on your own. So, you're tracking down acupuncturists and you're tracking down, shaman in the rainforest. That's probably going to be your next move. I would, if I were in your shoes with this much pain and suffering. You got to track Dr. Glidden down on the radio show, for goodness sake. And you're not alone, man. You're not alone. It's like this for everybody in this country. Everybody is up against it with their health, Don. Everybody is up against a chronic health condition, or two or three or four. And this is why my colleague, Dr. Wallach, had the brilliant idea to set his company, Longevity, up as a network business, because there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people like you, hundreds of thousands of people like you, and hundreds of thousands of other people suffering with other chronic health conditions that the MDs are completely incapable of helping them with. And, it's going to come to the breaking point sooner or later, and we're here to fill the void, because we have been convinced of two myths in this country. Myth number one, the MD is the undisputed king of medicine and everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack. That's nonsense. The only people practicing quack medicine in the United States have MD after their name, and you are a perfect example of it. The stuff that they have given you didn't do what they said it would, and you got worse into the bargain. That's quack medicine. Number two, you've been convinced that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process that can only be handled by medical professionals practicing in multi-million-dollar, high-tech, sterile facilities called hospitals. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Healing is easy. So our take on your situation is simple and elegant. Most answers to health conditions are. The immune system central headquarters is in a network of blood vessels which surrounds your small intestine. It's the small intestine's job to absorb nutrients into the bloodstream. It's the small intestine's job to absorb stuff into the bloodstream. So when stuff passes through the intestinal barrier and gets into the bloodstream, guess what? It meets the border guard. When you go to Canada, you got to cross the border. You go to Mexico, you got to cross the border. You fly over to France, you've got to cross the border once you get off the plane. Well, it's no different in the human body. The border guard is your immune system, and immune system central headquarters exists in a network of blood vessels which surrounds your small intestinal tract. It's called the greater and the lesser omentum. When you have trouble in the small intestine, you get holes in the fence between the inside and the outside of your body. They're microscopic holes, but they're there nonetheless. And when you get holes in the fence, the defensive barrier between the inside and the outside of the body, large molecules of stuff can slip through the cracks where only small molecules should be able to be allowed through. And when you get a big molecule of something, even if it's 100% organic, carrots, if the molecular size is too big, it's going to capitulate an immune response. And when an immune response is stimulated and stimulated and stimulated and stimulated and stimulated and stimulated all of the time, after a while, the immune system just goes crazy. Because the immune system is, a big, complicated mechanism of gears, right? And it's like when your immune system is overstimulated all of the time, it's like driving an engine hard, 120 miles an hour with only 2 quarts of oil in it. There's going to be a lot of stress and things are going to start to break. So you've gone, from bad to worse. You're headed straight to hell in a handbasket while you've given yourself over to the MDs. So our fundamental position is that with every medical condition, we want to try to get to the root cause of what's the problem. Well, what the heck is the problem? Well, the problem here, from our point of view, is degradation of the small intestinal milieu, degradation of the border between the inside and the outside of the body. And there are 10 foods which contribute to that. There are 10 foods which are the culprits here. So there are 10 foods that you need to eliminate from your diet. And I don't care about the blood testing that you had done. I don't care about that right now. In the future, I'll care about that. And I know a lot about the IgG and the IgM and the IgA. By the way, the E stands for a particular part of the immune system, right? They also do allergy testing for IgA, IgG, IgM, and IgE. Why they did the IgE blood test, I have no idea. I would not have done the IgE blood test, but that's, I don't want to go on to a rant about that. But my point here is, you need to stop eating food that's damaging the small intestine. And once we've done that, then we give nutrients to your body that your body can use to fix the small intestine and settle the immune system down. And also, to regulate and repair tissue. Because your body needs raw materials to regulate and repair tissue. If you don't have the raw materials, then the body can't fix itself, no matter how good you're eating, no matter how organic you're eating. Because the nutrients that your body needs to fix itself are not found in the food, not all of them. You can't do it. Unless you're supplementing appropriately with the right stuff and the right quantities and the right recipes and the right dosages, you're pissing into the wind, and it's not going to work. So the recommendation here is eliminate the 10 bad foods. To get the list of the 10 bad foods, just go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the link to sign up for my free monthly newsletter, and it's free. And once you've given me your name and your email address, by the way, we don't sell any of that stuff. We keep it all in-house. You're going to get an email from me once or twice a month that, gives you free health tips, right? That's pretty good. Once you sign up for the newsletter, you're directed to a hidden page on the website where you can download a document that I've entitled Good Food, Bad Food. And that'll give you the list of the 10 bad foods. You just need to stop eating those foods yesterday, all right? So eliminate the 10 bad foods from your diet, and then we need to hook you up with the raw materials that will calm your gut down and help your immune system to, stop over-functioning, give your body the stuff it needs to fix itself. And all of this done begs the question, the million-dollar question here is, what is your current body weight? How much do you currently weigh?
Close to 300 pounds. I'm all swollen. I know that I got to go and have 6 scoops of the Tangy Tangerine 2.0 a day, and that's what I have been doing, and then 3 scoops of the Longevity Beyond Osteo FX in the powder form every day.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Another good thing to add into that program would be selenium. I would do 4 bottles of selenium a month. 4 bottles of selenium a month, that's 12 a day. That's 4 capsules 3 times a day. That's easy to do because they're small little capsules. And the secret sauce here for you would be the root beer belly, which is probiotics that support and promote the structure and function of your gut. Now, the gut here, even though it might not seem like it is, but the gut is the root cause of the trouble here. We have to give the body stuff that it can use to fix the gut. Another interesting supplement to use would be Maquis Plus, M-A-Q-U-I Plus. Maquis Plus is a superfruit that's loaded with antioxidants that also has aloe vera. And aloe vera is very, very, very soothing to the intestinal milieu. I would do a couple of bottles of Maquis Plus a month. You shouldn't need to do that for more than 1 or 2 months. That's like a short-term fix. The selenium, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the white liquid calcium, and the EFAs. That's a lifelong program for you, for me, for everybody. The only thing that changes going downstream with that is the dosage, right? Because it's based upon your body weight. It is of maximum importance that you eliminate these 10 bad foods from your diet, number 1. Number 2, give the program, once you've eliminated the 10 bad foods, 90 days, 90 days to become effective. And by the way, the meds that you're taking will work better once your body is nutrified. And, you know, quite frankly, if it were me, I would go to a pharmacist. I would get them to put me on a reduction schedule for the meds today, and I would get on the reduction schedule for those meds today because they're not doing anything to help you. As a matter of fact, they're hurting. Give the program 90 days, clean the diet up, take those nutritional supplements, call me back every couple of weeks with a report, and I'll look forward to that. More to come, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. If you're watching the live video via YouTube or via the front page of my website, do not fear. We have some technical difficulties. You're unable to see my smiling face, but we're going to fix that hopefully at the top of the hour, so stick around. By the way, if you're listening to the audio on your computer through the internet, then you can also watch a live video with slides and the whole 9 yards. So you can do that either at YouTube, Dr. Peter Glidden, that's my YouTube account, Dr. Peter Glidden, or just visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. It should be there, a live video stream right there on the front page. We're going to go to Daniel in California now to finish up the first hour. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Peter Glidden. I called you yesterday about the inflammation problem and varicose veins down there.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 days ago, yeah. Previously to you, I talked to another guy. He's also kind of the way you guys think of Ben Fuchs. He said something about high doses of vitamin C, and I think somewhere in your webinars you said that you don't usually tell people to take too much vitamin C. Well, what should I do with that call? What do I...
Well, you should listen to me. There's no politically correct way to say this. I like Ben Fuchs a lot. He's a good guy. I have a lot of respect for Ben Fuchs. He's one of the few conventionally trained health professionals that's, given up the dark side and come over into the force, right? Ben Fuchs is a pharmacist. He's a pharmacist. He's not a physician, and there's a difference in the training between the two, right? I mean, if you bought a, $4,000, super duper high tech computer, and you love the thing, and you've had it for a couple of months, and smoke starts coming out of it. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to take it to your next door neighbor who's a geek, who's really into computers, or are you going to take it to a certified, Macintosh or Toshiba repair technician, right? You'd be better served to go to the expert. So, I do not recommend high doses of vitamin C. And the reason is, just look at Linus Pauling. Linus Pauling was the vitamin C king. He was the guy that recommended high doses of vitamin C, as did Abe Hoffer. I knew Abe Hoffer personally. I had lunch with Abe Hoffer a couple of times. Linus Pauling was a textbook copper deficiency case, and that's what happens when you take massive amounts of, in this case, vitamin C. It leaches out copper. And then you have another problem. So you fix one problem with the big doses, but you stimulate another problem because you're a knucklehead and you don't have any idea or conception of the holistic method. So look, our method is a holistic method. Our method is better than the reductionistic method. Pharmacist Ben, he's not 100% on board with the holistic method because he wasn't trained that way. So, you have to take everything that unholistic people say with a grain of salt, for goodness sake. So this is the deal. Trust what we have to say. Do what we have to say for 90 days, 90 days. This is the recommendation, right? Take my advice for 90 days. Try it on for size. Do your very best to follow the instructions for 90 days, 100%. Clean up your diet. Take the nutritional supplements as indicated, as recommended. And then, keep a running list of your symptoms and see if anything improves. And if stuff improves within 90 days, then that's a lock, and we just string the therapy out for as long as it takes until we maximize improvement. So, large doses of single nutrients is called fractionated nutrition. It's an out-fashioned, dangerous therapeutic delivered by and recommended by the uninitiated into the holistic method. So really, man, Ben Fuchs brings a lot of knowledge to the table, but in this case, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with him. Do not do large doses of vitamin C. Do not do large doses of vitamin C. Just hang out with the program that I recommended, Daniel. You're going to love how you feel. Give it 90 days. And remember, stop eating the 10 bad foods. It's of maximum importance. Nobody gets away from that one without eliminating the 10 bad foods. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Please check my website out, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, and sign up for my online health recovery program. It'll be the best $20 you've ever spent. 80 hours of archived health webinars at your fingertips, 4 hours of live stuff every week. It doesn't get any better than that. We'll be picking it up at 6 after the hour. Stay tuned.